Ladies and gentlemen,
It's the Backyard MECCA Show.
Backyard MECCA Show. MECCA Show.
We speak that realness.
Peace. Interweblians, beautiful people, audience.
Yo.
What's good?
Chillin', what's goody?
I'm SELFMATHEMATIKS. Y'all can call me Self. Welcome to the Backyard MECCA Show, backyardmeccashow.com. We are back. Alongside me is my co-host, Xavier X.
What's goody good,
What
y'all?
it do?
What it does, what it is.
What's good, man?
Life is good. And with this and full of challenges.
As always, man.
As always, absolutely, man.
So what's up? How's we always come and talk about how our weekend went, man, and all that good shit, man. How's your weekend, bro?
I say this, man, it's pretty challenging, to be honest.
Okay.
I'll say, it seems like whenever there's a shift, whether it be the moon cycles or the retrogrades and things like that, everybody's routine gets caught out, gets kind of like gets a little rough, or something changes, something shifts, and all across, not just in my life, but all across my timeline and Facebook, seeing what people are saying, seems like everybody's going through a big transition or a shift in some way that is affecting them either in what we know perceived as a negative way or in a transitional way. So for me, I would look at things as, things were definitely like not all like dandelions and unicorns and shit. It was some hard shit to deal with, but it helped me to transition. It's helping me to transition in different ways. So I always take something that could be considered as an L or something that could be considered as a challenge. It's just that, something to get over, something to move through.
Yeah.
So, you got the full moon thing. It's like some kind of solar eclipse. Anytime these things happen, because I remember when the full moon happened, I was in my emotions, bro. I was in my feelings, and it wasn't like in a bad way. I'm driving, I'm doing my work, I'm saying, I'm doing a lift, but I'm noticing my emotions more that day than I usually
that's crazy
would.
you say that.
Yeah, you too?
Yo, these are past few days, man. Like it's almost like I don't really get depressed for nothing, but it was almost like depressing. Like I don't know. It's the energy around, or it's the moon. Like,
Right. That's like something. It's a shift in the. That's interesting. Yeah. That's deep, bro. And like I said, like we try to keep it organic. We didn't have this conversation before getting on the mic.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, we didn't even know. But the shit is real. Like everyone that I know is going through some kind of like transition and are a bit more emotional than they would ever be. For the most part, like, me and Ricardo, we say we're pretty emotionally solid. You know what I'm saying? We dealing with, heavy shit. We still like, yes, whatever. We just keep moving.
That's what I'm saying.
Right.
But sometimes, like, I'm sorry to cut you off.
Say what you say.
Like, most of the time I wake up, I'm good, man. Like, I know I gotta face a day. If I got a down, something I gotta face that I gotta face. I know I gotta go at it,
Right.
But then there's just days where I'm just like, damn, I don't even want to get out of bed, like, and then you still gotta do what you gotta do. But these last couple of days, for some reason, have just been like that.
Yeah.
It's just today, I kind of unwind and kind of got that off my back, and it feels good. You know what I'm saying?
It does. I tell you that because I mean, it's been for me. I haven't really had a choice too much but it's funny. Like almost like the energy sat me down. It's like yo. Don't. Like my phone broke. You know what I'm saying? Like so ways that I could go work, I would do shit, was like, nah, chill. But then I was taken care of. It was weird. Like it was like, don't even worry. You good. But don't exert yourself anymore.
Yeah.
It was weird. Like if it was up to me, I would have just kept going. I would have just kept, you know what I mean? Like fuck it, But it was like I had to wait, but everything was taken care of. So it was like a weird sense of security was provided for me. But then there we go at the table. But at the same time, it was like the rug was being pulled from beneath my feet. It was deep as shit. So it's like everybody's going through some kind of transition. And for everybody that's watching, man, just know, there's reasons for the transition, man. There's reasons for whatever's going on. Speaking of transition, XXX, we didn't really get to talk about that a lot.
Yeah, we're definitely gonna get into that. I want to get into that in a little bit. But I kind of want to, talk a little bit more about what you're talking about too, man. Like I said, like I'm usually good, bro. Like I always try to inspire, but sometimes, man, like people forget to, to kind of check on the strong person in the group or and that's very that could be uninspiring to the person trying to inspire. Sometimes it drains you.
Yeah,
it drains you. So you know, I know our listeners are interwebblians out there. I know I'm pretty sure a lot of them go through that too. You know what I mean? So
absolutely, man.
you know, I just want them to know it's gonna be okay. You just, you know, like growing up, man, I've learned to just, you got to become water, man. Anything thrown at you, man, you got to, why waste your time and energy being mad and sad when you know what you got to do? There's a saying that I forgot. Damn, I read it a long time ago, man. There's a saying that says the solution always comes with the problem. You know what I'm saying? The problem always comes with the solution,
right.
Vice versa. So if you have an issue, you already know what you got to do. But us as human beings, we tend to dwell on shit and our emotions, and if we got to kind of move that out the way, as fucked up as it might sound or might not sound, we got to kind of just
you know, out the way and keep it keep it.
You got to take care of yourself.
Yeah.
You gotta you know, maneuver like that, because if not, you're just gonna drown yourself, man.
It's fact, man. Because if I let anything slow me down or stop me, there's so many other bad things would occur. You know, it was like it's no option, there's no way. But definitely, like, you know, I agree with you 1,000,000,000%. I was saying a little bit about this in the past few episodes, talking about alchemy and conversion of energy, how you convert what is thrown at you into something that benefits you. It's the same kind of idea, you know. You're converting lead to gold. That's what they were trying to do in ancient times, converting lead to gold. I believe somebody was successful, but they had different methods. This is where chemistry came from. Chemistry came from alchemy. So alchemy is the root of even chemistry, and alchemy was found in ancient Egypt. This place called Chem, so Khem. So check it out, y'all. Like, this is pretty.
Kemet? You mean Kemet?
No, but it's a place in Kemet called Chem.
That's crazy.
But that's interesting. Yeah.
Chemistry. I kind of just put
now
that
it's
together.
just like, yeah. It's all in the words, man. And so we're actually doing that when you're dealing with situations. You're converting energy from one form to another. Like Ricardo was saying, you know, waking up feeling a certain way and then taking that and like, all right, I'm gonna just move. I'm gonna convert that into what I need to continue to move, even though this is what I feel around me. I'm not gonna be bombarded by it to the point where I just don't become functional anymore, or I, you know, slow down what I'm supposed to do. You know what I mean? Yeah. It's real. That's real.
Yeah. You got like I said, you just gotta, you know what the answer is, man. If you got the problem, you know what, for me, man, this show for me, man, is big for me, man, because I enjoy it. And not just because I like what we talk about in the content, but it's therapeutic, man. Like, I can't just, I can't talk to everybody like this. You know what I'm saying? I have friends that I can't even build like this on. So this is me, like, releasing the energy that I keep inside me usually. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's family members I can't even build with like this. You know what I mean? So this is a very therapeutic thing for me, man. So you know, it's special to me to have the interwebblians listening and the new fan base that's coming in and everybody. That's it. As a matter of fact, real quick, now that I'm talking about that, man, I got to shout out to UK, man. I haven't told you, but I've been checking the stats. The UK's been real heavy, man.
Oh, wow. Shout out to UK, man.
Ireland.
Word.
You know, we got Brooklyn's been heavy. New York, you know what I mean?
Shout out to Brooklyn.
Connecticut, everywhere in Connecticut. You know, we from out here, so but we're getting a lot of new places, man. Like,
that's good, man.
Countries too, Croatia. You know what I'm saying? It's crazy, bro. Like, it's starting to move. So,
somebody from across the world.
So I'm hoping that, you know, we're making sense to our people out there and our supporters. And
absolutely,
we thank y'all, man, because without y'all, we wouldn't keep going. You know, we don't make a dime from this, man. We do it out of the love. We're trying to get there. You know, we're trying to build something great where we could offer everything, and we could even take care of ourselves and our family. But for now, man, you know, we just,
you got to start with your passion.
This is what we do, man. This is you know, I believe everybody should be able to live off of what they love, man.
Yeah.
That's the main key. That's freedom.
Fact.
That's what freedom means.
That is the freedom that.
That's the definition of freedom, bro.
Yeah,
you know?
It is.
You know how many people hate the jobs and all that shit. If you have something that you love, bro, and you can live off of that, man,
it just changes everything.
Bless you, man, because that shit is.
It changes every your mental state, what you think every day, how you see yourself, what you think about yourself, what you think about the world, everything, every aspect of your life. So I do healing work and I do lift. So right after this session, look at me. Right after this podcast, I'm going to drop somebody off at the airport, and I'm gonna work and do lift middle of the night and just work in Jersey.
Sick.
Right? Then I come back and I do healing sessions during the day. You know what I'm saying? But I love it.
Yeah.
Like, it's such an exhilarating thing. Because even while I'm driving, I'm talking to people about healing work. I'm passing my work out, I'm passing my pamphlets out, passing my testimonials out, having sessions in the van, in the SUV. You know what I'm saying? I come back, getting messages about, hey, you open this day, you open that day. I love it.
That's good.
I'm my own boss. And like for anybody out there, y'all, anybody listening, please just start off with what you're passionate about and find a way to monetize it. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? I had no idea I'd be able to monetize it. I actually, for the interesting fact, for the first 8 years of doing healing work, I was nervous on charging people. I didn't charge anybody. I felt weird. I didn't know how to really approach that. Yeah. You know what I mean? And it wasn't until I realized that people don't even value properly what they're getting from you until sometimes they gotta pay.
Yeah.
You know? It's true. It's a sad truth, but it's
absolutely true.
You know? So when I realized that, it was like, and then also the freedom that we spoke of, you know, doing something you love and then being able to live off of it. I want that, you know?
Yeah. Oh, me too, man.
Yeah,
me too. I mean, that's why I do,
you know, start somewhere, you know?
That's why I started, you know, this podcast show, because I wanted to go somewhere for us. And then, you know, I have the clothing brand for those that don't know, that are new listeners. I have a clothing brand called SELFMATHEMATIKS Clothing.
Let them know.
Which is, you know, our interweblians that always listen. You guys have heard that before. But yo, it's going pretty well for me. You know what I mean? But besides that, that's all I do, and I do deliveries on the side. You know, I deliver pizzas, bro. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But you know, I learned a long time ago I don't want a 9-to-5 no more. That shit holds me back like a motherfucker.
Yeah.
So you know what? I'm happier doing this pizza gig where I'm more flexible,
right?
And I can control my own hours, but I'm still making good money,
right?
Because there's good money,
exactly.
bro.
That's
tips and all, and people don't think
they don't
about
see
that.
it.
They'll laugh at the shit sometimes, and I did that before growing up too. Oh, this motherfucker's a piece. But you know what?
You don't know.
I get it. I get it now. So I'm just doing that until, you know, one of these spots gets me in the door, and I can keep pushing both even more. You know what I'm saying? As far, I do photography too, and all that. That's a little more in the background. I still do it, but you know,
same here. I do music, and that's quite on the back burner as well. Like, you know what I mean?
That freedom, though.
Freedom.
That's what I'm aiming for me and my family, man. Like.
And that's how you start with freedom. You don't start with freedom by staying in within the laws and boundaries of this matrix. You gotta you know, do like we just spoke of. Like, if you notice, there's simulators between both our hustles. You know what I'm saying? He uses his car to flip it, almost to make some more bread. You know what I'm saying? I use my car, I flip it to make more bread. Then we use our abilities, our gifts as our passion, but we monetize it. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. And if I could give some words of encouragement to our people out there and to Weblians and supporters, man. Yo, man, you got to go outside your comfort zone. Facts. You know what I mean? The only way to grow is to go outside your comfort zone. If not, you're always going to be confined.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? So if you want to start your own business out there, man, you got to take the first step. Take the initiative. Do what you have to do, no matter what it is. Just give it a try. The worst thing you could do is fail.
Facts.
That don't mean you failed all the way around. That just means you at that moment, it didn't get to where you wanted to be, but you just do it again. You know, as long as you keep going and don't give up, you haven't really failed. You know what I'm saying? So just, you know, please, man, go out there and try. I think it's the most therapeutic type of freedom that you could have. So just give it a shot, man.
Yeah, man, because you don't know what you're here for till you try.
Exactly, man. You don't know who you could help or where you could get, you know what I mean, and what you could reach until you do it, man.
Absolutely.
But yo, X, man, let's get into I know you wanted to get into a little bit of music, man. Let's talk about that a little bit, man.
You know, so Drake's album dropped. I'm not a Drake fan, but I can appreciate music when I hear it if it's good. You know, regardless of who it's from. If it sounds good, I'm like, okay, it sounds good, you know, this is nice. But, you know, there's a lot about the artist that, you know, I may not like or may like, but I just try to judge the music. So with Drake, you know, I think Drake is just an interesting character because he's a character, you know what I'm saying? He's an idea. Drake is a multitude of ideas being sold on a multitude of levels to the public, you know what I'm saying? And it's just interesting because he's one of the only, like, because corporations have always done this. They've always had a person that's at the forefront. You know what I mean? That they're putting all their dollars behind. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? But this is the first time I could think of in a long time where someone was as I mean, there's a lot of personal things that we get to scope or get to see in this guy's life, whether he wants us to or not, because of the age that we're in. So we talk about him being in blackface. His child, his parents, everything happened with, you know, we know a lot about his life. Yeah. And then this whole thing with XXX.
Yeah.
You know, like him saying that Drake, you try to sacrifice him, so on and so forth. Like, do you realize what kind of age we're in? You know, this is public information. You know, like I'm going on YouTube and it's right there. This used to be like conspiracy theory stuff. Now this is like everybody's just pretty much sold an idea. I went to Drake's Instagram. It was every comment was like accusing him of doing the dirt.
Yo, and you know what's crazy? That was all X's fans. Yo, that shows you the power. You know what I mean? And he was basically, from my understanding, he was X was independent. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So for him to have that many supporters and followers to go at, you know what I mean? It was. I went through it too a lot. But before we get into that, man, but it's true, man. Drake to me he was grafted. He was drafted. You know, he's not that shit he talks about. He was never that. You know, to me he was Degrassi, my man in the wheelchair. Right. You know, the videos you see of him dancing in the little bar mitzvahs and shit. That's who Drake really is. You know what I'm saying?
Right. I agree.
He ain't. Oh, you're gonna make me catch a body like that ain't Drake. You know what I mean? Drake. And that's the thing. He's been grafted. You know what I'm saying? And you know, a lot of people know that people write his. He has ghostwriters. You know, I'm sure he writes some of his stuff. The kid's talented. You know what I'm saying? But as an MC, man, I would never buy a Drake album. That's just me. You know what I mean? If I'm in the club, shit sounds cool. That's cool. But it's not hip hop to me. That's that's hip hop. That's I don't know, club music. But I mean, yeah, he does have some bangers for the club. I'll give it to him.
He got some bangers too. I ain't gonna flex. Like he got some actually like really good songs. Now, here's the thing interesting about Drake. This oldest, like when you first listen to like his first stuff, he had like songs that sound like Slum Village produced it. He was kind of more like your underground hip hop
in the beginning. That's how I usually.
And that still resonates on certain tracks that he puts out. It's like all right. So give you an example. This double album had 25 tracks on it. I say about 3 or 4 of those are that like old Drake. You know what I'm saying? His intro crazy. Oh, his intro's crazy. His outro crazy. Then it's like 2 joints in between that kind of remind me of that. But then everything else is like, okay, this is for my fans. My fans like these kind of songs, so this is the kind of music I'm going to give you guys. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, that honestly, that's like my idea or feeling of his album, of his whole project, because it's it's okay. You know what I'm saying? It's like it's not like woof, it didn't really hit me like that. But he did have. I put it to you like this: everybody who's listening, listen to the intro. Just listen to the intro. He said a lot without saying a lot. Like. Yeah, this is very interesting.
He's big on the double entendre thing, man. And you know what? As a matter of fact, like, you know, we could get back into the X thing a little bit, man. This is where his fans are going, wilding out a little bit because, he said a few things, man, that kind of connected with the death of XXXtentacion. So,
yeah, he did.
Like you got that one line. How's it go?
SMS
triple X. Mm-hmm. So I don't know. I never shoot below the neck or something.
That's the only time I shoot below the neck. Yeah. Why you keep shooting when you know the nigga dead? Yeah. His intro. So he says, he says, somebody gotta die when nobody are dead. He said he had another line. He said niggas is popping shit over content. That's the kind of shit that'll make you get your top hit, some shit like that, you know.
And again, let me say, I don't fuck with Drake. I don't listen to him, but I had to dissect some of these tracks because of the whole XXX situation. Right. So there's another song called "Mob Ties" or some shit like that, or "Mob something," and he says, "Take your Louis bag and give you a body bag," and X they took his look. You know what I'm saying? And then there's even another song. One of my boys that knows how I'm into the whole breakdown and shit, he hit me up earlier. Oh man, I forgot what it was, yo. But yo, there's a few songs where he's kind of double entendreing his ass off, and that's what a lot of people think, especially X's fans, think that he has something to do with his murder. Like he might have hired somebody.
Might have pressed that button.
Yo, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not saying I
wouldn't put it past.
I wouldn't put it past him, but I have to say allegedly. You know what I'm saying? Because we don't know. I don't know 100%, so I can't say. But that's the word. You know what I'm saying?
That's definitely
that's the word, and that's why they was going in on him.
They was going in, and then here's the interesting part: everybody's finna dance and party to these songs. Yeah. And I wonder if the world is going to either remember this or forget that these things are actually within the music and the experience. You know, just like what B was saying about how you kind of like involve yourself in their ritual. You know, they kind of like
pull you in,
right.
But even he had put out, I think like a year ago, he put, if I die, it was champagne poppy.
He said it. I
which was
seen
Drake.
this shit.
Yeah,
Like, I remember he said he had a video with DJ Academics where they was talking, he was interviewing. He had said that Drake had already tried to sacrifice him, and then he broke it down. Like he literally like broke down the situation.
Yeah, because it was cool. Drake was trying to be cool with him at first,
because Drake had took some of his flows and some of his shit, and it was
that's
like
why that's where it started.
Right, and that's why when he says niggas start popping silver content, that's the kind of shit that content. You know,
and then X was a real he was a real fucking ballsy dude, man. He had put some tweet, I believe he said something about Drake's mom, like she looks good or something like that, or I'll bang that or something like that. Woo. You know what I mean? And then
right, and then he sorry.
So and then what a lot. This goes to the whole conspiracy thing. But again, do your research, man. But I look into a lot of this shit. Again, I'm not saying it is that, but I know that there's a possibility.
Right.
So the last thing that people are saying that ticked Drake off was X supposedly, allegedly, X gave Pusha T the information about his child. And Drake was always trying to be that pretty boy, GQ,
right,
clean cut, you know what I mean? And that just
popping shit over content.
Yeah,
that's the kind of that's where that I'm telling you. There's so much in that line.
Yeah.
Damn.
So it's just shit to look into. You know what I'm saying? Like I've been looking into it.
It's a lot of connections. I mean, it's not like it's one thing. You know what I mean? Like it's multiple connections.
Yeah.
There's even and so at Scorpion, the intro, there's a part where it's blanked out. There's one word. There's one part that is blanked out. It's like he's like, I was about to, then I thought about it. It's unsettling to talk about it. And then he says something to the effect of R.I.P. to niggas that got caught with it. Something to my niggas that got caught with it. R.I.P. to my niggas that got caught without it. So he's talking about a gun. He was talking about something that with some, but it got blanked out. It was almost like it was too much. Like if whatever he was gonna say was like, all right, I'm just giving it away at this point.
And then you know what's crazy? Drake's album dropped after X died, and he has a song with Jay-Z, and Jay-Z saying,
right, I meant to,
how y'all kill X and let George Zimmerman still alive or some shit like that. And he said it was how y'all kill X and Zimmerman still alive. The hood is fucked up or some shit like that.
Some shit.
So like. That
was a little weird
out.
too.
Yeah, it's a little bugged out.
That was a little.
I know they could say, "Oh, we had that." The album wasn't completely finished, and that happened, and we just put it in. But
I don't know. There's so many things. Like
it's like
because I know Drake and Jay had their rivalry too.
Yeah.
So that could have been a thing where Drake was like, "Well, I got you on a verse." You know what I'm saying? I could help you validate my shit by having you on. You know what I'm saying? By this, you ain't know.
Jay wanted him on Tidal, and I think
he
picked iTunes or whatever.
So he probably Drake had that as like, this is gonna help me in my.
So again, man, a lot of this shit is allegedly. A lot of this is
shit is deep as fuck.
It's just something to think about. Just check out for yourself, because again, it's alleged.
Yeah.
But some of this shit makes sense, man, and some of this shit makes you go So just check it out for yourself.
What is
this?
What's really happening?
But yeah, enough of that, man. I do want to get into X a little bit more though, man.
Yeah. How did that affect you, yo?
Yo, it's crazy, yo. It kind of did affect me, man, because I put him in the same like genre and bucket as like 6ix9ine and like Kodak Black and Lil Uzi Vert, and I hate all them cats. All that trap shit is garbage to me. And I had to really check myself and be like, damn, I fucked up. And I could admit it. When I'm wrong, I'll admit it. I fucked up. And I fucked up because the kid had different color hair and the tattoos on his face, and I didn't really listen to his content just because of that. You know what I mean? So that's my bad. You know what I'm saying? That's my fuck up. But as a man, I could take that on the chin. But my son he's 12. He kind of listens to all that. He still likes the real shit because I've taught him. But obviously when he's in school and all that, you hear it. Yeah. So he's like, Dad, I think you like this song. Yeah, what really shook me is the way he died. I'm like, damn, why they had to, kill him? And that's when I really started listening to his music. Unfortunately, I didn't really give a shit. And I wish I did. You know what I mean? Because I wish I could have praised him when he was alive. Then now when he's dead, and unfortunately that's what happens a lot. So, yo, I started listening to his music, man, and I came to find out that the kid was really brilliant, man. For a 20-year-old, he was very smart, man. And I know a lot of people were you know, busting his balls for a lot of fucked up shit that he did, because he did do a lot of fucked up shit. He, you know, he had a hard upbringing, man. His mom wasn't really around. He bounced from house to house. You know, his mom was like 16 when she had him. You know, he had beat up allegedly one of his girlfriends, supposedly that was pregnant, whatever, black eyes, when she actually recanted those statements, but we don't know what happened. But whatever, anyway, he was involved in that, right? So that's some fucked up shit. You know, we don't co-sign that, we don't condone none of that. But I do believe from his words and his music and listening to like interviews like with academics or just him going live on Facebook and shit like that and him talking to his fans, I do believe that he was trying to change, and he was changing through his words, through his music. He was very positive, you know what I'm saying? I came to find out he was very positive. He was always trying to uplift his fans, even though his music was dark, because it was dark. A lot of his shit was about dark shit. It was about suicide. It was about depression. It was about obsession. It was about love, heartbreak. But he had the talent to be passionate about it, and not in every song, because I can't listen to everyone. There's some songs. See, the kid was so talented that he rapped. He did like R&B. He did alternative. He did the screaming rock shit. You know,
he did a lot of different. It was his own genre, basically.
That was, to me, that's fucking commendable. You know what I'm saying?
It's not many
at that young age,
own sound like
and
that,
being independent. So most of the stuff that I like was his hip hop shit, and his like R&B ish kind of. I like to call it like hip hop folklore, almost like, because he has some dope sounds, some beats, man. And you know, I really like Changes. You know, Changes is a song that actually Changes, and there's a song called Jocelyn Flores. He made that song. He had basically a girl that he had flew out from, I believe it was Ohio, Tomato. See, he had a clothing brand that he was about to drop, or that he dropped. You know, he very. Now and then he would drop stuff. Anyway, I guess he had her. She was either going to be in a video or model. Anyway, he had her come out to Florida, and she committed suicide in the hotel room, in his hotel room. I don't think he was there, but so you know, he's had many people around him commit suicide, other friends. You know what I mean? So that song, Jocelyn Flores, when X died that week, I had actually put that beat. I don't know if you know, I had put that beat on, because I put beats behind our podcast. That Jocelyn Flores beat I put behind the podcast with Emmanuel, and that was like a tribute, you know what I mean? So I was already on it. So anyway,
I'm not too familiar with a lot of his.
You'll see, bro. I'm gonna put you on, man, because like I said, I was wrong for just shooing him away. Like the other cat 6ix9ine on him, I've listened to that, and it's trash. You know what I'm saying? I'm sorry. I know other people like it and all that, but like, I like shit that has a message, you know what I'm saying? Right. And this kid, to me, he was also an empath, I believe. You know what I'm saying? He
definitely was.
He was an empath. You know, the kid was hurt, man. He was hurt. And I believe a lot of the dark shit that he was letting out through his music was keeping him alive, because he knows that he was touching others, bro. Right. It's like me. Sometimes when I feel depressed and I do this stuff and people get inspired, that it drives me. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I mean, I never, gone through the suicidal thing and all that, but I really believe that kept him going, man.
It definitely
and just because of that, he was able to touch and help millions, because people were, his fans were
really into him.
They were into him. They were balling. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's crazy. They didn't want to believe it. It was like the whole Pac thing. Oh, he's not really dead. He's gonna come out. He's gonna sing at his funeral or whatever. Because there was a whole thing called No Pulse. His new album was called No Pulse, and the first thing you see when they showed the video of him in the car, that, young man had no pulse. So people were trying to kind of connect it to, he's just doing a stunt to drop a new album. Unfortunately,
Yeah, a lot of people don't think he's dead.
Yeah, it was the whole, Machiavelli type of thing.
Yeah, a lot of people don't think he's dead.
But, man, so, I mean, that's, it really touched me. That's why I speak real passionate about it. I still listen to his music now. Like, I could be chilling here in the studio just doing some paperwork, and I'll throw that shit on, or in the car, because the kid was very passionate, man.
Yeah,
the way he got it across, bro.
It's very interesting. Like, there's one song that I did connect to. When I say connect, it was more like I just was interesting. I like when artists are vulnerable. I like when artists are honest and vulnerable, and they say shit you just don't expect for them to. So he had this song called what was it? I met the devil in Miami, and he said everything was gonna be okay, and I was like, whoa. oh, that was the title. So I played it, but then like it was like a video, and it was like an anime video, or whatever, and it wasn't a beat. It was just like some like music, but he was like kicking that shit. Like he was like he was like he was telling the story. It was well put together. It was vulnerable. And it was deep. And it almost like I felt where he was at in that moment. You know what I mean? I like music like there's a song called Suicide Note by Scarface, where he had just dropped his boy off, and then he sees cops going in that direction. He ends up following the cops, find out his boy just killed himself. They just dropped him off. And his boy told him that he wanted to end his life, but he didn't take it serious. So he's feeling guilty because he just treated it like a nonchalant thing, like, oh, whatever, he ain't gonna do it. Yeah. And he did. And then he was the person he would never think would actually really do it. You know what I mean? He would never thought he would do it because he has his wife read the Bible, he had a good life, he had money, you know what I'm saying? He had the life. I listen to that song at least once a night. And then when I'm doing my lift, you know what I do? Just like people are probably doing with X's music, I'll play that song for somebody I think that's relevant to. You know what I'm saying? If I feel like, you know what, you might have somebody around you that is dealing with that shit and they're telling you, don't play that. Just so you could be more aware that that's happening around you. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, man. And X made people aware of their pain.
Yo, just the way he comes across. And this is what I want the people to do, man, is really go out there and give the kid a chance, man, because people were you know, just basically giving up on him, man. You know what I mean? And I understand what he did, and it's wrong. Like I said, we don't condone that, but I also know he was a baby, bro. Right. He wasn't a man yet. He was a young man. Young man. Yo, you're not a man to me until you hit that 21 and up. You know what I'm saying? So he did all that shit when he was like, you know, between 16 and 18 years old, bro. You're still a child.
And if we were to be judged by the stuff we did from that age,
how are we gonna do that to our babies, man? How are we gonna turn our back on our babies? The kid, at least, and the kid was showing that he was trying to change. You know, not just within his music, but within his words, and not with just the words that he was telling his fans. You know, when he was talking to them through like FaceTime and shit like that, but also he was doing a lot of charity shit too, man. He was going and talking to the kids. He actually, right before he died, he had this big thing he was going to do in Florida that they're still doing it. You know, I don't know if they did it yet, but it was some big charity thing that he was doing, man. So, like, bro, you know, I feel terrible already for putting him in that genre that I put him in. Well, you know, and then to learn, I'm sorry, real quick, and just to learn about who he really was, man. I can't turn my back, and I can't agree with the people saying fuck him, and there's even people saying good riddance. You know what I'm saying? I'm sorry, I can't do that because I was dumb and I did dumb shit at that age too. And if people would have turned their back all the way on me, who knows where the fuck I'd be? You know what I'm saying?
That's all of this. You know what I mean? Exactly.
Yeah. So
and you know what? I would go as far as to say that this new generation of MCs, rappers, whatever you want to call them, or artists, even though a lot of their music is not music that I could necessarily like vibe with, I understand why it's there.
Yeah, me too.
You know what I'm saying? And I'm not saying you don't. I'm not saying you don't. But like I think we understand why it's there. Now, when I say that, I also say this too. I think they all, like I was saying before, they're just reflections of what's just going on. You know what I mean? Absolutely. So like 6ix9ine, he was doing charity work as well. You know? Yeah. And this is 6ix9ine we talking about. You know
and that's
why
I kind of like, you know what I mean? Like I'd be like, all right.
Okay. So there's other like angles of it. But that's the thing. We're like they literally represent the era that we are living in with their age bracket.
He's young too.
Right. That's they all real young.
He's looking for his balance. You know what I'm saying? And so I'm wrong. I bash. And I'm not trying to cut you off, but because our interweblians know I bash a lot of that shit, and I do it because I love hip hop, but at the same time I do understand, man. I don't want them people to think that I'm such cold-hearted like that. I'm not. But I don't want to give my energy to that. I want to give my energy to cats like, let's say, X that I know are actually already there. And then if we could work on these cats and they show some kind of initiative, cool. You know what I'm saying?
There's a bunch of them out there.
I'm sure, man.
There are. I run into them every now and then where I'm like, oh, this is probably one of the young cats, and I'll click it. I'm like, oh.
Yeah. But there's just some of them out there, bro, that are so ignorant and they really don't give a shit about nothing.
Oh, yeah, shout out to Rory. I'm pronouncing it wrong. Rory. He's like the new Andre 3000. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah? I haven't heard of it.
He's like real young. Real young from Atlanta. You know what I'm saying? He was signed already, but he went through some kind of hellish shit. Okay. He made a song called Run Away from the Devil. You know what I mean? But the shit is fire, but then like he was signed at the time. Like it just keeps kind of seeing the same kind of things happen with these younger acts. They get burnt by the industry, either they don't make it or they do. But I really think we're in for some interesting, very interesting new artists. to spawn or
It's
come
changing.
from
It's changing.
this era.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's-
I really do.
it's-
I think people are really going to get into their emotions and their
lyrics and
life.
content.
Right,
It's
content is
changing.
coming back.
It
Yeah,
definitely is.
I would say that because
few
it's
more
too
years,
much. Yeah, it's
but-
too much serious shit to not talk about. You know.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
I mean, the whole X thing is just sad to me, man. You know what I'm saying? Like we lost someone with great potential. And when I say great potential, bro, he had great potential,
really
man.
great potential.
You know what I mean? Because he was already showing,
Progress.
know, he was already showing in his footsteps the progress, man. And it's just
he represents so many people
sad,
out
man.
there. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
He really does.
yeah.
Like he really represents.
Yeah,
that.
because there's people that really do
Just
feel
like
that
him.
shit,
Just
and
like
go
him.
through that. You know
Just
what I mean?
like him. You know.
So,
And I was that. You know.
yeah,
Shit.
bro.
You know. From how old was I? I mean, from what I can remember. For you guys that don't know, I dealt with depression for years. So I mean, from what I can remember, I mean, as early as I can remember to like maybe like 20, 21, I was depressed and suicidal, both. You know what I'm saying? Suicidal more so when I understood the idea behind not living and me being the cause of it. That was definitely something that I was like, that's my shit, and I didn't care. It was normal for me. I would be in school and just talking to people about it, like, I don't want to be here, you know, regular. Yeah. Like it's not even nothing to think about. And then a teacher started hearing me say this shit and kind of, you know, took note to that, and that's when I started getting some help. But it wasn't really help. It was more so me just seeing like, yo, people go through worse shit, and maybe there's more for me here, you know. And I think that's what woke me up. Like there's more than what I was dealing with. Yeah. Even what I was dealing with was bad. There was more, and I'm like, damn, well, you know, let me give myself a chance. You know, let me give myself an opportunity.
And that's what I was about to say. I've never experienced it. You know what I'm saying? In all reality, but as someone who likes to research and learn about shit, like, you know, going through it and feeling it is one thing, but going through it and feeling it and maybe researching it and understanding it more kind of helps more than other people trying to give you help. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's always you. It's always you. It's always you could get as much help as you want, man. But it's always you that's gonna
make it happen.
Make it really happen. You know what I'm saying?
Factory.
So, but
Indeed.
yeah, man.
We'll talk about the brother in New York.
Oh yeah, man.
Because this is all kind of like
it's leading in. I mean, it's crazy. It's you know, X got murdered. He got murdered, and real quick, right before we get into that, I just wanted to say the kid was so humble. And you know that he was driving around and he had some I forget the X8 or C3, I don't know what it's called, man, but some dope BMW door,
the
suicide doors. Yeah, the i8, that's what it was. Yeah, yo, he didn't have no security or nothing.
Yeah, he was rolling by himself.
But you know what? I think that was a mistake, man.
That was definitely a mistake.
I don't know. Maybe he didn't realize how big he was yet, or maybe he was the kind of kid that really didn't give a fuck. You know what I mean?
It's
like,
the whole situation, honestly.
Yeah, but
fishy,
I mean, he was set up.
The whole shit,
absolutely,
like he's by himself. The pictures don't show blood.
Yeah,
like it's so much shit with that shit. It's just something ain't right. I smell fish.
Yeah, if they were to rob him, why they had to kill him? They took his Louis bag
like,
with the money in it.
Certainly, it's like
cool.
That was
why
a hit.
You had to kill him though? You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
So now it's like
something's wrong, yo.
Yeah, so you know, like again, like I'm not, you know, I'm still looking into all that shit. Like I want to see where it's gonna go. Like supposedly they said the dude that they did catch, he got raped the other day in jail already, bro. They caught him in, in the shower, a couple of them, and they're saying. You know, because him and Kodak Black were mad cool, so it's kind of Kodak Black's people. And what they did is they played, supposedly, you know, this is just stuff, you know, coming from, but you know, a lot of the times it's if you research it, it's the truth. But they're saying that they played, while they did that, they played XXXtentacion song "Look in My Eyes" while they did it to him. You know what I'm saying? Now this is alleged. I'm gonna research it some more, but I want to put it out there because it's out there already, and it's not far fetched. Shit happens. This happens in jail, especially you killed a homie.
Yeah,
like
it's gonna somebody can get done to you.
Now look, they still got another dude they're looking for, and I think you know they need a driver. It's a couple people. It's you know that shit takes time. You gotta let the cops and the FBI and whatever do their homework.
Streets.
But it's coming in, man. Yeah, the streets too. You know, nowadays with the social media, you got the fans
right there
shit together. You know, sometimes it's outlandish, sometimes
it's
shit,
on point. Yeah, like facts are facts. You know what I mean?
But again, at the end of the day, you got to research yourself. But I like to put that information out there because it's not a conspiracy, man. It's out there. It's only a conspiracy if you rock with it and you don't know if it's really going on. Take that and research the shit.
Right, because most people just not most. I can't say that, but when you think a conspiracy theory is a conspiracy theory, it's because you believe what they tell you in most cases. Like, okay, yeah, what they said it, so it must be true. Instead of
so anything the opposite is crazy.
Right, then it must be a theory or a conspiracy of some sort because it's the opposite of what they told me.
Yeah.
So it just shows me that you ain't really looking.
Exactly, man. Well, yeah, let's move on, man. You were talking about what happened actually, yo, man.
That's more, because you went to the memorial, right?
Yeah, man. So, a few days ago, man, in the Bronx, man, there was a young kid, man, 15 years old, by the name of Junior, who he got hacked, stabbed up to death, man, in a bodega. What they're saying is mistaken identity, man. And I want to say his full name. His full name is Lesandro Junior Guzman-Feliz. And big rest in peace to that young brother, man, because his death has shooken up the world, bro. Not just the Bronx, not just New York, not just the tri-state, but
everywhere.
The way what they did to that kid, man, was horrendous, man. I think it's one of the most horrific murders I've heard about in a minute, man. Especially in New York, and I don't want to say the world because there's a lot of things that happens in the world, but just it's out there. You know what I mean? It's crazy. And what happens is he was. Well, let me just talk about what happened first. He had ran into the bodega because some guys were chasing him. They went to the bodega. They were beating on him. They dragged him out, and they ended up stabbing him. All of them. He was 15 years old, and there was like 6 to 8 guys, and they were between 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 24. You know what I'm saying? So they were stabbing him. He got stabbed up in the side. He got stabbed up in the neck. And so this is the big thing. Now we're going to dissect it a little bit. So that's what happened, for the people that didn't hear about it. So here's the story that's going around that they're saying. Junior was in a thing where he was going to become a cop. So he was in I forgot what it's called, man.
Some kind of training, like youth.
Yeah, kind of like program. ROTC is in high school to go into
right.
The Marines or whatever it is. So he was in a program. Let's just call it, because I don't know the exact name. And in that program, it was the girl that was involved, right? So she had called him. Now, again, this is what I have understood and read. She called him to basically borrow some money so she could get home, $5. So his mother, it was like about 9:30, they said, or so, 10 o'clock or something like that. He asked his mother for the money because, he's 15. I don't think he was really working, whatever. Anyway, so he got the money from his mother, and she was about to go to bed, so she was like, all right, basically hurry up, blah, blah, blah. Anyway, he goes to bring the money down to the girl. He basically lived across the street from the store a little bit, a couple buildings down, but basically across the street. And so I gotta kind of rewind a little bit. So let's stop it right there. He got the money from his mom, and he's going to the store. So this is what happened to get the whole situation going. The girl that was in the group in the program with him, there was a video that was put online, and basically some dude was smoking hookah and rapping to like a song, and basically she was having sex in the background by some other dude, and she was I don't even know, she was between like 14 years old or something like that at the time. It happened like last year, and they just released it this year or something like that. So anyways, that's what set it all off. Now, the dude that was in the video rapping, him and Junior looked pretty much alike, identical. So they're saying it's mistaken identity. You know what I mean? But now that time has passed a little bit, they're saying that she was trying to save him, like they knew, so they blamed it on Junior. So they basically set him up, is what they're trying to say now. Now, again, things are not solid yet. The girl and the boyfriend, because they knew. So again, things are still unraveling, but this is what's out there. You know what I mean? Right. So again, allegedly, but go research yourself.
This is the story.
So now the uncle finds out. I guess he's infuriated, and this is what happens. They set him up. So boom, she calls. Now we could go back to the money, to borrow the money so she could get home. So Junior goes, gets the money from his mother, comes downstairs, and goes into the bodega, but he gets chased in. Now he tries he was already scared because what he tried to do as soon as he got in the bodega, the videos are out there. You know what I'm saying? Everybody saw them. They're gruesome, and it's kind of fucked up that they're out there, man. But this day and age, you know, with the social media, man, like
everything is to be seen,
and that's another big thing.
Up.
That's another big thing. People, and it's the absolute truth, man. Stop fucking recording and help somebody, man.
Right.
You know, you could help. You could save somebody's life, man. So anyway, man, back to the story, man. He jumps into the bodega, and he tries to jump the counter, but the owner had stopped him, I guess, because he kind of said he was surprised at first. But, you know, Junior frequented in that bodega. So this is another big thing. We'll get into that in a minute. So anyway, Junior kind of tries to jump the bodega, and the owner's kind of like, no, kind of pushes him away. And then he still gets over because he was so scared. And then, you know, when Junior gets over, one of the guys comes in, and it looks like the bodega guys, the owners kind of like points him out. So one of the guy comes in, sees Junior, and then he goes outside to get the dude. So two other dudes come in, and they basically go to the back, and one of them beats on him, and then they drag him out. He had a hoodie on or a sweater on. They drag him out, and you could see him when he's getting dragged out by the ATM, and he's screaming, like he's saying like help one more time, and the bodega owner's just waving his hand like get out, like you know what I mean, and So they get him out there, man. As soon as they get him out there, bro, the other dudes, they swarm and they just start stabbing him, bro. One dude had a machete.
Yeah, I seen the dudes had a machete.
You know what I mean? And it happened so quick, man. It had to be like, quick, man, maybe 30 seconds, bro. And it was that last dude, they say, is the one who really got him.
Got him in his neck.
Really, yeah. So, all right. So this is, now, obviously, that's fucked up. You know what I'm saying? That's fucked. So Junior goes back into the store to ask for help, and you could see the blood dripping on the floor. You know what I'm saying? And they're basically just pointing, like, outside, like, basically get out.
Get out.
And
yeah.
There's a hospital, because I was there, and we're gonna get into that too. But there's a hospital that was basically 1 block away. All you have to do is walk down the street, and it was right there. So at first, you see him coming out, and he's kind of like, he's telling somebody like, call 911, and then he takes like a breath, and then he just walks. He walks to the hospital. And he ends up collapsing there right before he gets into the emergency. He was on his way to the emergency room. He lost so much blood.
Yeah, by that time.
Unfortunately, it's in the video. He's drenched in the blood. It's on the floor. And, I guess they get him in the hospital. He's pronounced dead.
Yeah,
he lost. I don't know if they hit an artery, but he lost a lot.
Lost a lot of blood. Yeah, and if somebody would have just gave him a ride to the
put pressure, even kept him there. Yeah.
Right,
so this is where it gets a little hazy with the bodega owner. You know what I'm saying? Now, again, when you see the video, he grabs Junior's wrist on top, you know what I mean, to kind of hold him. He says he was surprised. But Junior was a frequent there, so you know him. So
right.
If you got one of the babies from the neighborhood coming and telling you he's scared, he needs to hide, the dude still, the whole time Junior tried to come over, he had his hands on him. So if he really wanted to help him, your hand switched to underneath his hands to pull him in. Not Junior basically forced himself over.
His way, yeah.
So, and this is what happens. Like, this is now that, the people are enraged, the family's enraged, the community's enraged. They want to shut down the store for good, take away this guy's license. And I think it happened already. But, that's in the works too. It's not written in stone yet. But, so, it's fucked up because you could see it in the videos. There's people that say, oh, what if you were the bodega owner? And this is what I thought at first. Like, I'm like, yo, but what? The bodega owner didn't know this was going to happen. Like, maybe he didn't want no static with no gangs and be targeted later on. So I understood that at first. But then I saw the videos. And I'm like, yo, they're pointing. They're like, get out, basically. The whole time they're shooting him, get out, get out. Now, if I would have seen my man get on the phone right away, which he didn't. He did that afterwards, after the stabbing happened, basically. You know what I'm saying? Or if I would have seen them try to lock the door or something, then I could be like, yo, this dude. Nah, man, this dude was, they would get out.
You got a good point, though. We brought up a really good point because in New York it's different. For anybody, I don't know, for all our interwebblians, like, if you've ever been to New York, the bodegas are different. It's a whole, all right, so a bodega is it's like a 24-hour store. It's
a corner store.
It's a corner store, all right, and they're every block. You know what I mean? They sell your typical, you sell your blunts, drinks, chips, so on and so forth. Now, people who, there's a lot of coke that gets sold, there's a lot of crack, a lot of stuff that gets sold in New York. Like, believe it or not, like a lot of people, it's a lot of movement with drugs, right? A lot of gang activity in New York, right? A lot of the bodegas and drug dealers and shit like that, sometimes they work together. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes, it's a stash spot, or, they breaking off money to them, so on and so forth. Or, they're afraid because they know who's doing
Who
what
runs-
in the
who runs
neighborhood.
the block.
Right.
Yeah, people run
They
blocks.
know who runs the block.
Now, you know,
That's very interesting. That's
it
an
is
element.
interesting. We're
It's
not
an
saying
element. Yeah.
we're not saying that's what's
That's
going
what's
on,
but
because that
it's
hasn't
a
come
thought.
out for now anyway.
Right.
But yeah, you know, that definitely
That's an
exists.
element, I guess, that maybe would have influenced
Yeah.
them not like, yo, just get away from me. We don't have nothing to do with this type thing.
Yeah.
Versus, you know.
But then, like I said, then I that's what I thought at first. But then I saw the video, and all you do is see them pointing out, or the owner shooing them away.
Right. He could have at least
Or
called
when they're beating on them. They didn't try to
call an
in
ambulance
the
or something.
store. Like they could have just kicked the dudes out real quick, locked
Right.
the door, or yo,
I just
come
called
on.
an ambulance. Something. You know what I mean?
Exactly,
Like, just
real quick,
something. Yeah, like
even though you know they said it was taking long, they said he did it, but I mean it was afterwards.
Yeah,
and you know what else, a bodega, even here in Connecticut, the bodegas here, man, everybody got a gun, and everybody
Right.
says that I've read that this guy had a gun. You know what I'm saying? He ain't taking no gun out. Now, did he have one that day? I don't know.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
They was obviously scared. I feel like they should have called cops, something, called ambulance, something. The dudes don't got to see you do that. You know what I mean?
But bro, it's more. All right, so now you heard that part. But the more fucked up, but Junior comes in, stabbed up.
Right, and they still pointing him away.
Yeah, go to the hospital.
That's crazy.
Instead of applying pressure, instead
Something.
of picking him up, put him in the car, something.
They got
not
ice
go.
there, something, anything,
and
like
this kid,
something.
He comes outside, you know, bless his little soul, man, because this shit hurts, man. He comes outside, and he kind of puts his hands on his knees like he's breathing, and he just, like I said, he told somebody call 911, and then he kind of jogs very lightly. And then I'm sure he lost conscious, and and you see in one of the videos, there's people that know him from the block, and they were like, "Call Genesis, which is his sister," and they were like, "Oh my God, Junior!" And the other fucked up part, you had two cops there, and they weren't doing anything either. That's another thing. Like they're going after the cops. Supposedly, I saw something that for that. So it's a very
just all fucked up, all the way around.
Like the kid had no chance,
no
bro,
opportunity to
at
make
all.
that shit. Damn, that's foul.
And it's horrific, man. And
fucked up, man. Sheesh. It shows you like it's like people are turning a blind eye.
Yeah, they're taking out their fucking cameras, bro. There was so many angles. There was like at least two angles. There was one in the building, bird's eye view of what was going on, and then there was just the people there that could have did something, and nobody did shit, bro. And we're in the age. There's a meme that's going around that I'm sure people seen. There's a guy that's drowning with his hand up like this, and you have people
taking
filming
pictures.
him instead of fucking jumping in, and you know what I mean. And it's so true because
that's
what's
the
going
world
on.
we in. It's the fucking
It's so
world we
fucked
in.
up, bro.
It is really
I really
fucked up.
feel for that kid, man. Like how he had nothing to do with it. He was a
Right.
good kid. He was in school. He was in that program. His mom, he I'm sure he was out there with his friends, but I'm pretty sure he wasn't in no gang shit, and it hasn't come out yet. You could just tell, man. He was a wholesome little boy,
Right.
15 years old, bro. And what really fucks with me, bro, is to kind of understand and feel the scaredness and confusion he must have been feeling at that time when all that shit was happening, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, how scared and confused was he at that time, man?
It's gotta be. You know what? I say this too, man. All right, so on one end, like say Chicago, right? Things like this happen quite often. Like
Chicago.
Like we don't even get to hear these stories. You know what I'm saying? Like we don't even get to hear. And this is happening. Like I remember there was some girl who had visited the White House, like right around the time Obama got elected or something. And when she goes back to Chicago and get killed. I remember, like,
I think
remember
I
that?
Yeah,
she was young girl, man. So, and this is like normal. So now it's almost like when things like this happen, it's like I look at both sides of the coin. On one end, obviously, it's really fucked up. But then on the other end, it's bringing attention to the fact that this is happening daily to especially the youth. It's happening daily.
Something always has to get sacrificed,
right?
For people
for everybody
to
to pay attention.
Unfortunately, man.
Just like remember when and this is a little sketchy to me that we don't hear about it as much anymore. But the missing black women, missing black girls.
Oh yeah.
Remember that? Mm-hmm. Now none of those I said remember that, even though like it's still happening. I said it. Remember that almost as if it's not happening anymore because we don't see it no more.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I remember I couldn't go on Facebook without seeing something.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It was just I couldn't go anywhere without starting to see missing, people being concerned about it, and then all of a sudden I don't see that shit no more. That's scary.
Yeah.
Now,
and it's still happening.
and it's still happening, right? Exactly. That's the scary part
There's
about
just no
it.
attention
There's just
on
no fucking attention on it. So it takes these kind of things in order for people to start. I just really hope this is not the trend, and then we forget again, because that's the trend of the world.
Yeah.
We care and then we don't give a fuck. You know what I'm saying?
We failed that little boy, man. We failed him. We failed him as a community. You know what I'm saying? And not only that, and some people aren't gonna agree with me when I say this, but we failed the killers too, because like they got that mentality somehow by somebody failing them. You know what I'm saying? By not having that parenting or the proper programs by the city or something. You know what I mean? And I don't wish death on nobody, because that's not, to me, you can't fight hate with hate.
Right.
You know what I mean? And that makes me no better to say fuck them and all that. May they go to jail, may they throw away the key. Yeah, that's cool. I believe they deserve that out. But the death, I wouldn't wish that. I mean, if they get the death penalty and let them go through the justice system. If it happens, it happens. But all I'm saying is that I would never
wish that upon
nobody, because it's wrong.
And they also need the opportunity to grow and heal from this as well, to become better people, because a lot of our people,
that's so tough.
It's tough to say, man. But think about it,
it's true, but
it's super true. Because think about it, like even Malcolm X. Malcolm X was what was his name before Red, right?
Yeah.
All right, Red. So now.
Yeah.
Red was, he was red.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? And they'll tell him you're right, what other dirt he might have did that he didn't talk about. He was a pimp, like all these different things,
drugs,
all that. So now he turned in from a pimp, all that into Malcolm X. Yeah. So that's what I mean. Like we got to
kind of like X too,
right?
What's happening with X?
There you go. What I mean? We got to give these kids opportunity to shift. Because
they must.
But they got to deal with consequences.
They got to deal with the consequences.
Yeah, I'm not saying they shouldn't. I'm not saying they should just live their life. No, but through their consequences.
It's so tough to say that,
right?
Man, but me as an empath and as sitting back and not, just sitting back and analyzing it all, it's so tough to say, but it's true, man.
It's true. It's tough to say, definitely, because you want. Of course, they're gonna pay. It's not that they're not gonna pay. They're paying right now. If they're mentally in jail right now before even being like, you know what I'm saying? They're mentally like dealing with things before they even really have to deal with the problems. They're gonna carry this throughout their whole life. They're gonna have to be tortured for the rest of their life from them doing this. They'll never ever be able to live this down. So they're gonna pay for their shit. You know what I'm saying? Like. And then in the next life, maybe even still, that's a lot of karma to carry. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So now, it's not up to us to put a judgment on them, because they're going to deal with it regardless of what we think or don't about them. I really just hope they have the opportunity to change and shift. You know what I'm saying? Hopefully, because honestly, I'm gonna tell you this: a lot of our youth are fucking up like that.
Yeah.
Straight.
No,
like
absolutely,
that.
and we're so detached from them, man.
It
has to do with everybody.
Yeah.
We can't just point fingers like, they did some monstrous shit, man, but I mean all the way around, man, like. Yeah,
man. It's like, listen, I've been talking to a lot of the youth more lately, you know what I'm saying, running into them, few like from like 15 to 16-year-olds, like 14-year-olds, they living like 20-year-old lives now, popping pills, having sex, quitting, like they done already started drugs and stopped. And started again at 16, 15. You know what I'm saying? Like, shit is real out there. So I just think that all these things that happen are a reflection of the world we live in, and it's just a wake-up call. Especially for, because see, they don't got no OGs. Our generation, the 30-somethings and the 40-somethings, we are the OGs at this point. Yeah. Ain't no 50, 60-year-olds. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Ain't nobody out past fucking 40. You know what I'm saying? Really talking to anybody that age, unless you a teacher or an administrator in some school somewhere. That's it. With that said, it's like, what opportunity they really got? No programs, ain't none of that shit popping off. So it's really like, if anything's gonna change, it's gonna be the youth changing it themselves, but also either we're gonna be just a fucked up generation to watch it happen, like we do it with the cell phones, or we're gonna start reaching out to some of these 14, 15, 16-year-olds that we know.
Yeah. And that's what we have to do. That's what I want to push, man.
That's real.
It's so unfortunate, man, that this shit gotta happen, man. Just by I could read his energy just by looking at his picture of the wholesome kid he was. I'm not saying he's perfect. You know what I'm saying? Like, but he was no troublemaker, man. And his mother, man, I commend her so much, man. She's so strong, bro. Like. like I didn't get to meet her when I went out there and all that. She wasn't there, you know what I mean? But in the videos that I've seen her talking, like I haven't really seen her shed a tear, man. Like just today though, I seen a clip of she was talking to somebody. They were outside, I think, where it happened, and she was saying like, you know, this is the worst thing that could happen to a mother. Like, I'm dead right now. I'm dead. I don't feel alive. Because of what happened. She was like, I just want to die. You know, she wasn't saying suicide or nothing like that. But
that's basically cold as suicide.
I mean, yeah, but
she won't do it possibly.
No,
but,
she's just basically saying like, basically she's saying, I don't have nothing to live for.
No point. Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
The feeling of it.
So, and I understand that, man.
That's where suicide comes from.
That's her baby. Yeah.
It comes from the feeling of having no reason to live, and that like something like that taken from you, it makes you feel that way.
Yeah, no, but I just don't want to because I feel 100% that that's not. She was just, you know, out of just sobbing. And,
no, I'm not saying that's what she was saying.
Yeah. I just want to clarify
as more of a like, all right, so with energy healing, with spirit stuff, we try to read between the lines what people are saying. And when I hear someone say, yo, I don't want to live no more, that automatically means like, you should watch me, because I might be a danger to myself, because I don't really see a reason to being here. I might harm myself. It's possible. Like, anytime you hear anybody say that, always pay attention. They're not going to, most people are not going to tell you, yo, I'm ready to kill myself today. They're going to tell you shit like, yo, I don't feel like I got a reason to live, or what am I here for? Or they're going to tell you those cold words, because I was giving out those cold words. And then I tried, you know what I'm saying? Couple times. So those cold words are like, so anybody that heard her, that's around her, if anybody y'all hear this, y'all need to check on her.
Oh, absolutely.
You heard? Like, don't think she's so strong. Check on your strong friend, like you said earlier. Don't think she's so strong that she don't. That's her being numb to the situation, because she don't want to feel that shit, because it's too much to feel.
It hasn't registered.
You know what I'm saying? And it registers too much to feel. Like, sometimes you shut that shit off because you don't want to feel it. It's too much to feel. I went through something traumatic this week, and I had to like shut my whole shit off because I didn't want to feel that shit. I didn't want to feel that shit. That shit would have drove me out of my fucking mind. You know what I'm saying? If I just allowed myself to feel the situation the way it was, so I could understand, I could vibe with, understand. Like, boom, I get it. Like, you feel how you feel, but you don't, because you gotta shut that shit off to keep going. Otherwise, you're just gonna just stop, and you're not gonna be you. You know what I mean? You're gonna kind of shift into a different energy that's not gonna benefit you later. So I could dig it. Anybody that's listening out there, y'all ever hear anybody sound like that? Check on them. Ask them real questions.
Absolutely, man. And you know, just getting back into where I was at, like she's such a strong woman, man, and you know, she's not stopping until these kids serve that justice for her son. You know what I mean? She's in the courtrooms.
Good.
She's, you know what I'm saying? Like, she's going to whatever she got to go to.
Good.
So I went, man. This was Thursday, Friday. I went out there, man, because, you know, it like I said, it affected everybody, man, and that shit fucked with me, man. The kid, he was 15 years old. I got a 12-year-old and a 15-year-old, bro.
I got a 10-year-old.
You know what I'm saying? So, like, anybody, you know, whether you got kids or not, like, just what the whole situation, like, it just keep getting worse, and it got, you know, it went from a kid getting killed to, okay, damn, he got stabbed up by a whole bunch of grown men.
Right.
Okay, it was mistaken identity. It's like your heart just keeps dropping and dropping. Right. Okay, he was set up. Oh shit. To now the bodega owners ain't do shit. It's like
damn.
Up,
and then the cops didn't do shit on time. And then it's just like, and then people filming it. And it's just
And then now all the cowards are trying to, you know, they're trying to act like they didn't speak English at first to try to slow down the thing. Now they all pled not guilty, yo. Believe it or not.
Oh yes, the audacity.
Yeah, the audacity,
like,
the disrespect.
On,
you know, they're just trying to prolong the trial.
That's fucked up.
You're on camera. You know what I'm saying?
Like, yes, we know it's you, nigga. Like,
yeah, and you know what I'm saying? That's what I'm saying. Like,
it's foul.
So it's just the impact after an impact after, you know, and they're feeling it. The family's feeling all this. It's just like, damn, like they're learning this, they're learning that. Like I heard something today. I was online, and it was, I don't know if it was the commissioner, some lady that deals with the courts or something. Now they're saying it wasn't mistaken identity. Now they're saying he might have got into an argument with some of them earlier on in the week. Like, you know, there's a lot of shit that's just
coming out.
Now again, that's allegedly, but like for what's out now, it's like, what the fuck, man. So, you know, when I was out there, I mean, it was beautiful, man. The community was out there, people were out there, a bunch of flowers and bears and candles and people chanting and all that. And I believe they're actually going to call the street Junior's Way. I think I just seen earlier, man, that they actually gave the parents the sign. It's called Lesandro Jr. Guzman-Feliz Boulevard. So they're actually going to put that up and honor him. And they want to shut down the store completely and turn it into a community center for the kids, so they do have something to do. But yeah, man, like
transmuted energy. That's right. Alchemy.
It's fucked up, man. This child's murder really shook the world, man. And it's fucked up because it's a lot of other stuff that's happened, man. A little girl just got run over in the Bronx as well, man, while her mom was tying her shoe at the laundromat. The car backed into her. Like, I'm not really gonna get into that, but it's out there. Please look that up. Supposedly, the lady that did it is related to somebody that works for the police, so she kind of got off free. Like, and then also they were trying to press charges, and they're immigrants, so they're bullying them with saying we're gonna call ICE on you. Whoa. So now the people can't even fight for justice for their own little daughter. Yeah. So that's a fucked up situation. Look that up, man. Another kid by the same gang, because it was a gang called the Trinitarios that killed Junior. The same gang stabbed up another kid on the highway somewhere in the Bronx. He lost a lung. I just saw another kid from that same gang, 16 years old. They robbed a 46-year-old walking home from work with another guy, beat him up. You know what I'm saying? It's like, it's crazy, man. Yo, just a couple days ago out here in Bridgeport, a kid got shot in the face and chest. Now, I haven't gotten all the info on that. They say he's in stable condition and all that, which is great, amazing. But I don't know what happened. But yo, it's going on all over the place, man. We can keep going and going and going, but yo, this shit's got to stop, man. We have to be the parents and the grown-ups and the big brothers and the uncles and really talk to these kids, man, because yo, they're lost, and a lot of that shit has to do with us, man. You know what I'm saying? This is why I refuse to turn my back on X. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, man, this was a tough show, man, because I wanted to dedicate this show to everybody lost, man, and I wanted to actually dedicate it to Junior. May he rest in peace, man. May he find peace while he's out there flying in the universe and watching down on everybody, and whatever you believe. May his family find peace and find as much comfort as they can, because this is something you'll never live down. You know what I'm saying?
Right,
so,
right.
Yeah, man, rest in peace, man. I think that's pretty much it for the show, brother.
Yeah, man.
This was a tough one, man.
It was good to leave on that note.
It was, man. People need to hear it, man. Sometimes people don't, they don't want to talk about it, but
it's necessary because it's too much going on not to talk about these things.
The last thing I'll say is, just look up for the people that don't know, because sometimes the news doesn't get. It might not be in the UK. It said it went around the world, but not everybody knows. I was talking to people in California that had no. They didn't know shit about it. So just look up, man, if you look up the hashtag Justice for Junior, you can start seeing the story. Unfortunately, some of the videos are still out there. You'll see that. But you could see what's going on with the case and the mother. And if you want to even donate, there's a GoFundMe page to kind of, help with stuff for the family, man. Please go ahead and do that, man. This family needs us. Global community support, man, and all the other cases too. I'm sure there's GoFundMe and all that. And maybe we'll talk about those in the next show. This show was just, we mostly talked about that because it was just so impactful, man. But everybody's lives matters, man, and just look that up, man. But man, X, I think that's it, man. We're gonna let it go, man. Interweblians, once again, thank you for tuning in. We appreciate y'all. Don't forget backyardmeccashow@gmail.com if you want to, any words, any shit you want to talk, any big ups, any comments. Don't forget to check the show out on YouTube every Sunday. And the show drops Wednesday, Spotify, YouTube, Google Play, and Stitcher. But yeah, man, we're out of here. Have a blessed one. We'll talk to y'all soon. Peace, 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 peace. Interweblians.